apparently Michael Jordan, NBC is bringing Michael Jordan back in the original theme, well, almost the original theme song. I believe it's called Round Ball Rock. You know, dun 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 dun. I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Shout out to NBA Talk Playlist, Music Entertainment Playlist. NBC broke news today that Michael Jordan will be a special contributor to the NBC. I believe Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash is also going to be on there on I guess in a studios, or I guess they're gonna be in the studio. I don't know how the play-by-play gonna go. So they, keep Grant Hill, Reggie Miller, Kevin Harlan. So that I don't know, but I do know Dirk and Steve Nash is gonna be on NBC. Honestly, that don't make me no difference. Peacock as well. Some of these things gonna be streaming on their app. I think the Peacock app pretty cool. I watched The Office on there, and they had some movies on there as well too. They had the whole Twilight franchise. I know guys don't watch that, but it wasn't bad. I watched that with my girl. It wasn't bad at all. But yeah. So yeah, they get Mike to do media. I don't know. What's his obligation? Is it once a month? Once a week? They must have gave Michael the bag or some ownership in the company. I'm not sure, but for Michael to do it, Michael, he did media his whole career. He said he didn't want to do another interview, and maybe through the times, he got a race car thing doing. What's so funny? Charles Barkley also made a comment about them being fraternities or whatever. Michael don't fraternities are weird, and Michael don't mess with them. What's so funny is I met with a Q. I was at the gym. He said Michael do a lot for them in the Q fraternity. Michael's a Q. He said Michael do a lot for them. So I thought that was pretty dope. But yeah, I guess he just maybe he feel like it's the time is now that maybe if he have a little bit more influence, or he have a little bit more visibility on speaking on basketball, that he can bring more notoriety to the game. And he don't really speak much about basketball. You hear it through Stephen A. He really like Anthony Edwards, and you hear kind of through third parties about some of the things he like in the sport. So I think it's going to be interesting to see Michael do media, whether it's once a month, once a week, once every now and again. I'm interested in seeing it. Obviously he got one of the best basketball minds in the game, and so he didn't want to shadow the game. I feel like Jerry West didn't really shadow the game, even though he was an integral part with Memphis, Clippers, the Lakers, and rest in power to him. I don't feel like he kind of overshadowed the game. Trying to really think. I know Shaq and Chuck on TV, and people say they hate, but I feel like they be speaking a lot of truths about the game that we grew up loving and watching. It's hard for other people not to see what they talked about when you didn't live it. When I lived through the golden age of basketball in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lived through it. I know it's supposed to look like. That's why it's hard for me to actually watch basketball and enjoy it the same way I used to enjoy it as growing up. It's just like it's two totally different games. You watching, them crying, and every bump is a free throw, and it's hard to watch when it's they shooting all these threes, they traveling up and down the court. Like we grew up in that era. We grew up in the era for the first, for the electricity era. Like it was electric. Like if they had league pass on in the '90s, bro, like I'd have bought it. I'd have my parents bought it. We grew up in the era for the best sneakers, the best gym shoes. We grew up in the era basketball wise. You got to understand that whole millennial era, bro. Like it's so much dope shit. We grew up in the N1 era. Nobody really kind of talks about that. We grew up in an era where, where you had N1, and then high school started really getting visibility in basketball. So you got to understand it was Bron, OJ Mayo, Bill Walker, Carmelo Anthony, like dog, they were Derrick Rose. Like high school basketball really started to bubble. That was a huge thing at the same time as, a lot of that was just running parallel with each other, bro. So we had a good time, in the 90s, man, and we seen how the game was supposed to grow, how it was supposed to go. And it's not the same anymore. So it's hard for when we talk about it, it's when nostalgia is killing the game. No, man, even at that point, the game was kind of far from its true essence or organic form. We just want a good product. And a product, these players don't take pride in it. They don't craft their games. They play a dumb brand of basketball. It's not physical. They crying. So a lot of times I don't even I think watching the highlights is better than watching the actual game. I just watch the highlights a lot of the time. I just don't invest my time in it no more because it ain't too many guys that I just feel like I got to break my neck to watch. And the two guys I really would love to break my neck to watch playing the West Coast, and I'd be going to bed. And Shea and Anthony Edwards. Other than that, I don't really have the need to watch nobody else that's playing right now. Like, I was like, I really want to watch. That's the only ones I really, really want to watch. I seen a bunch of Jokic. I seen a bunch of Curry and Jimmy Butler. I do like Halliburton and Brunson. But, I ain't dying to see them. So, but yeah, I'm very interested. That Michael Jordan thing got my interest really, 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 really peaked. But yeah, outside of that, man, they're gonna bring back Round Ball Rock. So I believe that's what it's called. Dun 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 dun. So I think they should I think NBA Jams might have been turned into NBA Showtime. If my memory serves me correctly, that's what happened with NBA Jams. NBC should invest into Blitz. They got bad football too. A rebuff of Blitz and a rebuff of NBA Showtime. Yeah, slash NBA Jam. They should rebuff. They should redo that for the new consoles. I think that'd be super duper dope. Um, I think that'd be super duper dope in my opinion, man. They should do that. So the song is gonna be rebuffed. So they basically remastering the song. It might have a little bit of different intricacies, so it won't be the exact same, but it's gonna be a rebuff, a rendition of of it. So yeah, it won't be the original song. It's probably gonna have some little different thing. Would it be around a different song? You remember something about the same song? You remember we used to play NBA Showtime? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I wish they would bring back that, and maybe then they can make Madden 2K sim games. They should make them sim fucking games, like for real players, and have NBA Blitz and Showtime for these motherfuckers who don't know how to play sports. Like real talk, that's what a game like real football fans and basketball fans missing a real sim game. But that's a whole nother thing I'm speaking on. But hit the link in the description. Join the Free Game 89 channel. Check my Detroit channel, Mercy Sports Talk. Yeah, hit the link tree. You can find me there. Cash App, Venmo, CJ Good 313. That's in the link tree. PayPal link there. Instagram, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Check out the NBA Talk Plays Music and 10 playlist piece.